Time now for Inside Out as we're joined by SNY NBA insider Ian Begley. And Ian, the score sheet says it was an 11-point loss, but man, it felt a lot worse than that. So have the Knicks hit their lowest point of the season?
I mean, maybe it gets lower on Sunday evening when they host the Clippers, but it feels like right now this is it, only because this team had shown you flashes of signs that they were getting it together on both ends of the floor really over the last couple of weeks. And now they've lost 3 in a row, lost to Minnesota, then lost to a New Orleans team at home that is one of the worst in the Western Conference. And they really weren't competitive for much of this game against the Pelicans. It just makes you wonder what's happening within the locker room, what's happening among the players right now. The idea that they can't seem to get it together on a consistent basis, and that's been the case all season.
Ian, we just heard Tom Thibodeau saying his team has to learn how to fight, has to be mentally tough and fight through adversity. One staple of Tibbs' coach teams is that they would play hard. How much is that missing with this club right now?
That's one of the more baffling parts of this team this season, because last year you saw it from the Knicks night in and night out. They played hard, regardless of whether they were in a game, down by 10, whatever it was, they were giving you maximum effort more often than not. And so this season, you've kind of seen the opposite. The Knicks have come out and kind of been passive at the beginning of some games. They've gotten down early. And then, Tom Thibodeau has even questioned the effort at times from his group. And you brought back most of the same roster from last year. You switched up the backcourt with Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier, but the majority of the roster is the same. So it's just a little bit surprising to see effort being an issue so consistently with this Knicks team so far.
Yeah, no doubt. Led by Alvarado returning to New York, the Pelicans wanted this one more early. Okay, Ian, the trade deadline February 10th. So should the Knicks now become sellers before then?
Well, should. I mean, we could debate that. I don't think they will. I have a hard time seeing them starting to sell off, like trading away veterans like an Alec Burks in order to play young guys prioritize playing young guys, I should say, over winning games. I can't see them taking that approach with Tom Thibodeau, with the veterans that they have on this team. I mean, listen, their next 10 games after Sunday are really tough. So maybe they slide so much in the Eastern Conference standings that they decide to go that route. But I have a very hard time seeing them do that based on how things have played out to this point under team president Leon Rose and Tom Thibodeau.